So last month, the month of July, I made $6,200. It feels great. I mean, I really didn't expect it to go this quick, this fast, and it's happening. It's real. I mean, it's definitely doable for anybody. That's for sure.
Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System with signing agent Mike out in Houston, Texas, doing it big because everything's big in Texas. How you doing, man?
Always, yeah.
Thank you for being here. I mean, this is exciting because Mike is a part-time signing agent. Can you tell everybody how much money you made last month as a part-time signing agent?
So last month, the month of July, I made $6,200.
You made $6,200 part-time. When I say that back to you, how does that sound? How do you feel?
It feels great. I mean, I really didn't expect it to go this quick, this fast, and it's happening. It's real. I mean, it's definitely doable for anybody. That's for sure.
I love it. I'm excited about sharing your story, man. Here's the best part is Mike is a full-time firefighter. So I first want to say thank you for the service you do for your community. I always tell people, any human being that's willing to run into a building everybody else is running out of is a very good American. So thank you, man.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
And I think what's even more inspiring is Mike is 27 years old. So Mike is a firefighter, 27 years old. How long have you been in the department, fire department?
3.5 years now.
3.5 years. I mean, you're a young man, and now you're doing $6,000 a month on top of your firefighter income. So today, Mike, in this interview, I'd love to not only talk to some signing agents, but I also want to talk to some firefighters. Like, if you're doing such a great job, any firefighter should do this as a part-time income. With that being said, let's just kind of jump into the same question I ask every student, man. And, obviously as a firefighter, you have a good, decent income, right? I mean, we know firefighters do decently well. So can you tell everybody why you wanted to become a signing agent?
So my why basically hinges down to basically my family. I want to support them. I mean, at the moment, I don't have any kids, not married or nothing. So I'm looking out for, my mom, my niece and my nephew. I want to give them a good future. I want to be able to provide for them. And that's a huge why for me. I don't ever want them to struggle or anything like that for that matter. So that is my huge why. Like, I think you have to find your why, and that's what wakes me up every day, and that's what drives me and strives me to do more each and every day.
It's beautiful, man. So what I hear is, you felt a pressure and obligation. I don't know what the appropriate word is, but something loving, long story short, and of providing more for your mom. And you knew that being a firefighter, that income wasn't quite enough to put money away for them or to give them money or whatever that looks like for you. I mean, am I kind of hitting home on that? Talk through that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a good paying job, but I mean, I'm always striving for more, and I knew with this, it would give me that extra income that I need, and that would really take it to another level, and that's what I was looking for. And I mean, that's what the loan signing system's done for me. It's helped me, kind of find that extra income. So now I have that more freedom. I can kind of do what I want with it, not tied to just one check. I got a lot more freedom definitely now.
No, like I said, man, that's beautiful. I don't think you're the only son, out there who wants to take care of their mom. Sign me up on that page, and so, I think it's beautiful that at such a young age, you want to do more for them, right? I mean, that's what I think you start off this journey with, is like, look, trying to figure out how you can provide for your mom and your nephews and nieces and nephews. And I think it's amazing how you want to, secure their future, man. I said 27 years old, it's inspiring for so many reasons. Like, I'll tell you right now, when I was 27, I wasn't thinking like that. And so I think it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, so how did your mom feel about you having this amazing part-time income doing $6,000 a month?
Well, I mean, she's happy for me, that's for sure. But I mean, she's always like, be careful, make sure you set money aside for your taxes. That's what she worries about most, that I'm paying my taxes.
Sounds like a mom, right?
Yeah,
You're like, no, mom, I'm doing this for you. Set aside, no, mom, I'm doing this for you. Set your side attack. That's hilarious. I love it, man. No, I think it's great. I think everyone has their own why. And you know, my why is my family, my wife, and my son. And so I love that, you know, your why is moms and your nieces and nephews, man. And so, you know, we all have different reasons on why we want to create a sense of income, a different stream of income, excuse me. And again, I mean, let's speak to a firefighter right now, right? I mean, there's firefighters all over this country. I mean, why is this the perfect part-time job for a firefighter? Explain that for me.
So I'll kind of get into this gist of our schedule. So at my department, we'll work 24 hours, be off 24 hours, and then we're off 5 days. So for us, I'm not sure about other departments, but we have 5 days off a week, basically. So, I mean, with that time, you can do a lot with 5 days off. So, and this job gives you the flexibility to, you know, if you want to be busy all day, work 10 hours, 12 hours, you can. If you want to just stay home, be with your kids and do a signing in the morning, and come home and chill with them after, then you can do that too. I mean, it gives you freedom. You're not tied somewhere for 12 hours and then having to go to work the next day for 24 hours. You know, it gives you that, you make your schedule pretty much. And I mean, you can't really beat the pay. I mean, 75 for the lowest paying job, I mean, that's really hard to beat.
Yeah, no, but so what I'm hearing is, and let's just talk to another firefighter real quick. So, you know, on the shifts that you got to do 24-hour shifts. So you're doing a signing. Are you doing signings before that shift? Are you trying to ease up the day before the shift? Because how are you returning docs? You know, that's kind of, you know, so you're doing 4 days, it sounds like, probably of signing agent work. And then the rest of the time is kind of dedicated to your fire job.
Yeah, so I'll still schedule signings like right after work. You know, we get off at 6:30 in the morning. So I'll get home at 7 in the morning, jump in the shower, and be on the road by 7:30 and then signing at 8 o'clock. You know, and I mean, it's doable. You can definitely still schedule days right after your shift, right before your shift. I mean, you can make it work. That's for sure. I mean, you might be tired, which I am a lot of the time. Sometimes we don't get no sleep at night, but you know, I'll make it work. So, and I know if you're in a department out there anywhere, you can make it work too. I mean, it's not rocket science. Anyone can do it, really.
I love it. Yeah, and so this is, I'll just kind of end with this on this, you know, speaking to a firefighter still, it's like, so while you're on shift, I guess, for lack of a better word, you know, you can accept the appointments as they come in. So you're accepting, yes, yeah, I can do it. As you're sitting in the fire station, you know, not putting out fires, you're able to talk through with your clients, like, oh, I can do it, or I can't do it. Am I kind of picking up on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're gonna have some downtime for sure. You're not always gonna be, you know, on the road all day, not able to look at your phone. So you're gonna be able to still, you know, schedule those signings. So you can plan your day out for the next day, you know. Even print docs to the station if you want, but that's up to you. I don't. But yeah, you can make it work. There's definitely a lot of flexibility to make it work for sure.
I love it. Like I said, I'm hoping we're inspiring firefighters all over the country that this is a perfect part-time job, especially if you're doing the 2 days on, 3 days on, 5 days off, 4 days off. I mean, those are literally 4 days you can dedicate. And what I didn't know, you know, that you educated me on is that, like, even when you're on shift, you know, there's downtime where you can still organize your appointments even though you're on shift, because you guys are just kind of waiting for the call to come in. And so I hope the firefighters across the country are being inspired by this, man. I mean, you literally have the best job to do around being a signing agent, because when you're on shift, it's not like you can't schedule appointments for the next day, or you can't pick up the phone and talk to one of your clients. I mean, the more we talk about this, like being a firefighter, like every firefighter should supplement as a signing agent. It's awesome. Okay, well, cool. Thank you for telling us your story, your why, and maybe we've inspired a firefighter or two to look into this industry. Now, you know, let's get people excited about your journey here. You've only been an LSS student or a signing agent for 6 months. You've been able to scale this business to $6,000 in your 6 months. I mean, you realize $6,000 in 1 month is what more than most people make in their full-time jobs in a month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy when I look back and add it up by the yearly at what that rate is. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't even feel like 6,000. I feel like I didn't really do that much work to do it. So, I mean, I know I can definitely do more than that.
I'm going to see you in the 10K club. You know that, right?
Yeah. I'm ready to get my little plaque. I'm shooting for the 20K too.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I hope everyone's getting inspired by it. He knows he's thinking big, because I always teach you guys, if you think normal, normal's all you're ever going to think. You got to dream big, think big to get big. I am so stoked that you're accepting that mindset, man. That is the truth. So, okay, so let's take people through your journey. I know some people that like to hear about the journey of your income, how much you made, how much you started, you know, and what I will kind of end with before we segue into this is, you know, you're not necessarily one of those stories where you made $5,000 in your first month. You made $5,000 in your second month. This has been a nice, consistent build to where you are today. And so, you know, for every other student out there, like, you know, slow and steady wins the race. And I would argue $6,000 in your 6th month is kind of fast. But I think that when people are going to go through your journey, so to get inspired that, you know, you just kind of stuck with it. And like you said, you fully expect yourself to be in the $20,000 a month club. So how much money do you make in month number 1?
So month number 1, I made $1,100.
Okay, so you made $1,000 your first month. What were you thinking at that point? You're like, oh my gosh. I mean, what were you thinking after you made $1,000 your first month?
So first month, I was still on edge, you know, like I was still at the point where like, is this really going to work? You know, everyone has that little sketchiness. And, you know, after the first couple of signings, and then when I got paid, I was like, man, this is legit. Like, and it wasn't hard work at all either. So definitely after that first month, I was like, that's when I started thinking, let me see how I can scale this from here. And that's when I was all in pretty much after that first month.
I love it. So month number 1, that you know that this is real, I can do it. I'm actually making money, and then you went all in. So let's tell people about your all in moment. So how much you making month number 2?
So number 2, I did $2,800.
Cool. Month number 3?
$2,900.
Month number 4?
4,300.
I mean, about your 4th month in, you're making $4,000 a month. I mean, you got to be like, this is amazing, right?
Yeah, at that point, I was like, yeah, this is all I need now as far as side job. Like this is definitely doable. I can scale this for sure.
I love it. And then last month you made
6,200.
So you actually made $6,000 in your 5th month. I keep saying your 6th month, but you're your 5th month, and now you're in month number 6. Wow, that is even more awesome of a story. You know, so, but I think what's more inspiring, or as inspiring as far as your income, is you're getting direct business out there in Texas, right? I mean, you're working directly with the title company. So I would love to take people through this journey, you know, and so, you know, because I think, you know, like we have, as you know, Mike, in our group, there are signing agents who have been with us for a year who still haven't gone direct, right? They're still nervous. They're still kind of like, am I ready? So I would love to inspire our students about like kind of your journey of going direct, because, you know, getting about how much of your business right now is direct versus signing service?
I'd say about 65% direct.
Perfect. So you made a decision. What month, can I ask, did you kind of make the decision like, I'm going to start marketing direct?
After my 7th signing. Yeah.
So month number 1, you're like,
yeah.
I love it.
I remember that exact signing. After I left that signing, I was like, I think it's time to go direct. And from there, I just kind of went all out on going direct. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit on what I did.
Okay, cool. Well, let's jump right into what you did, because I think this is super inspiring. So, you know, I want to talk about not only what you did, but I kind of want to talk about your feelings before you're doing it, right? And so let's actually start with that, right? I mean, so is it safe to say you're 27 years old, you know, young is what I should say. And did you have a sales background before coming into this business?
No sales background, no real estate history, no mortgage history. You know, just joined the fire department at 23, and that's pretty much where I've been since.
Cool. And I wanted to share that so people know, because I think there's a myth, Mike, that like signing agents who get direct business are like natural born salespeople, right? Or there's a myth that like people going direct are these super suave, like I've been selling cars or something. So you're just an everyday American firefighter your whole young career. So, you know, let's talk about that moment a little bit on your first direct. So we're going to talk about how you executed it, but I want to talk people through the feelings and the emotions, right? So talk about the first time you marketed direct, and kind of take us through that play-by-play and share what went down for you.
Okay, so as you know, in the loan sign system, there's a script, and basically, you know, I studied that script real good. I memorized it real well. You know, I pretty much had it word for word. And then so I was in an area up north, Houston, and I Googled a title company near me. So I was like, I'm going to just drop in, you know, give them the script and kind of just go from there. And so I pulled up in the parking lot, and instead of getting out, I kind of actually just sat there for like 10, 15 minutes, just kind of just going over what I'm gonna say. The nerves were definitely there. I'm not gonna act like I just went in there like full blown and just knocked it out the door, because I really didn't. But I mean, the nerves are a good thing. You gotta look past those nerves. You gotta just get through that, because they're gonna be there. When you pull up to your first title company to go direct and you're waiting to go in, the nerves are gonna be there for anybody.
Let me just interject. If that's okay. I mean, we're talking to a man who runs into burning buildings with flames coming out at 1,000 degrees, and you're sitting here sweating about going into a title company. I think that's inspiring, right? I mean, it just shows you that no matter where we come from, the nerves are okay. It's just not succumbing to the nerves that's not okay. And so
Yeah.
you're sitting in the car for 15 minutes. I hate to interrupt because you were such a good flow, but it just dawned on me that this man who literally, runs into buildings that other people run out of, and you're sitting there nervous. And so I think it's very relatable, and I think it's very vulnerable of you to share that, because I think on the outside, Mike, we see firefighters, which we should, as heroes, and because you guys are heroes. And, we see you firefighters as people who just don't have nerve. To hear that you had nerves, I think, is comforting to other people who also have nerves, that you can be a firefighter and still be super nervous. So thank you for sharing that. And anyway, so you're sitting in the car, nervous as heck. Take it through the next few moments.
Okay, so yeah, I finally, got out and went inside. I had the script in my head of what I was going to say, kind of how I was going to say it. And then I walked in, saw the assistant at the front desk, kind of introduced myself. And then after 5 minutes, I realized like I wasn't saying the script at all. And I was actually just, just having a casual conversation with them and kind of just introducing myself. And then we were talking about things that weren't even, real estate at all, closings at all. We're just basic conversation. And after that point, after that first one, it makes you realize that, they're people just like you. I mean, they're escrow officers. They're going to talk to you no matter what. I mean, after that point, I mean, the nerves, they're definitely still there. But once you get the first one out of the way, everything's going to be easier for that. It's going to open a lot of doors for you, and you're just going to have that confidence from that point.
Mike, I mean, first off, man, I think you're dropping fire here. But I think the first thing which is really inspiring is you had the script memorized, you're sitting in the car, memorize the script, you memorize the script for X amount of weeks, you walk in and you go blank.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
And I think that's really inspiring, because again, you're a firefighter, you're a man of nerves of steel, and you go in there and you go blank. And I think you said, which was the most inspiring, is you realized that they're just humans. They're just like us. And even though you don't have the perfect script going in, when I teach you guys, right, experiences are best teachers. I teach you guys, they're just like me and you. They put on their pants one leg at a time, just like us.
Yeah.
They're not going to bite, right? And I think the fact that you really hit home that you didn't even say the script, but yet you were still able to make leeway into the office. And I hope people really are inspired by that. So even as you go in and you forget the script, just be you. And that's what I teach you guys, right? Just be you, be authentic. I don't teach you to be salespeople. I teach you to be authentic humans trying to bring value. And when the script goes out the window, you leaned on who you were, Mike, and I'm proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you for so many reasons. Man, I hope I say that enough. I'm proud of you, and I know you got big things in you.
I appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome, man. So, I mean, let's kind of talk about your game plan, I think, which is also inspiring. So, I love the fact, by the way, you just Googled the closest title company. It was right next to you. I mean, some people think there's a mythical plan of like, how do you find title companies? You're like, it's called Google. So talk about kind of once you made that one inlay to that one title and you said, look, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Talk about your game plan, what you did.
Okay. So after that one, I think that was the only one I went to that night. But after that, it pretty much gave me the idea that, you know what, I think I'm going to go to every title company in Houston, or at least try to. I don't know if I went to everyone there. I went to a lot. So basically what I did was I downloaded this app where it optimizes your route. So you put in the addresses and it'll kind of just optimize the closest title companies to you. by location. So so what I did was I started hitting every section of Houston. So northeast, northwest, southeast, and each section has about 25 to 30 title companies. And so for like 2 weeks straight, like 3 days a week, I would go into each one. So in all total, I went to over 100 title companies and introduced myself to all of them.
I hope people are getting inspired. This is what it means to be relentless, and that's a capital LSS. Over 100 title companies, and that's why in your 5th month you're able to scale the $6,000 and do 55% direct. This is what I talk about, man. I hope our students are getting inspired by it, because that's the example that you're setting, and I'm so thankful for it, and I think as you start going through more of the title companies, the script probably became a little bit more easier to remember. Am I kind of getting close on that?
Yeah, for sure. The script definitely got easier, got more familiar, and then the conversations start flowing better. I mean, you kind of know what to expect after you go into 5 or 6 of them. So everything from that point, it's just kind of all just second nature. Just be yourself, and that's what I was doing.
I love it. Good.
And also, I realized, so at the time, I realized that, what I do today is going to pay off in about 5, 6 months. And that's what I was going for, because I knew going in, I'm probably not going to get a signing on the spot, or maybe not in the next month, and that's fine with me. But my plan was to go in, make that first impression, and then follow up with emails, dropping in a month later. And that was my plan, and I followed through on that, and now I'm starting to see the rewards of that 5 months later.
Because I teach you guys, we are farmers, we are not hunters. And when that clicks, that's how you scale a business. Can't be more proud of you, man. I honestly, like, everything you're dropping is fire. I think another thing I think we should inspire people with, because you said you're inspired by Calvin Durrell out in Florida. Can you talk about how Calvin inspired you? So I'm hoping you inspired some new students by saying you went to 100 title companies. And I hope you inspired the next signing agent saying, look, I understand that this might be a 2-3 month process, because that's what we teach. Even though some people may not be loan signing system students, these interviews are full of little nuggets here and there. So if you know what to listen for, these are amazingly valuable interviews. So what did Calvin do that inspired you?
Well, first of all, shout out to Calvin. So what he said was he called every signing service on that list, which was 300 or so, probably more than that, but he did that. And I did the same thing. I don't think I got to 300, but I got to probably about 200. And, I just took what he gave me and I just applied it. And, all that's paying off now, because my phone gets blown up from notifications from signing service now. I didn't hear from him for 3 months, but now, then I got more signings in the system. Now they're starting to, reach out to me.
I love it. And I hope that inspires loan signing system students. All you loan signing system students watching this right now, I have given you 300 signing services to call, to sign up with. Calvin, Check, Michael, Eugene, Ashley Bolden, they're all saying the same thing. You pick up the phone, you use the script, you create relationships, you be yourself, and bada bing, you can be a part-time signing agent making $6,000 a month, man. This interview has been fire. I hope people are rewatching this a few times, because you've been dropping some golden nuggets in there. Okay, so let's go to this next part of the conversation, man. I think at this point, you've already given so much great advice. But what is, I always go to a question, because I want people to get real tangible advice from a signing agent who's doing $6,000 a month. What is one piece of advice you give a signing agent to help grow their business?
Help grow their business, basically, take action every day in whatever you do. So wake up with a plan, know what you're going to do. If you're going to say you're going to call 50 signing services, wake up and do that, and don't stop until you hit that goal. You got to be, like Mark always says, relentless. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and if you want to be successful quicker, that's just kind of what it's going to take. So mine would be mainly just taking action on whatever goal it is you want to achieve, and don't stop until you get it, really.
I love it, man. You've embodied the LSS way, and it shows. I think that's very powerful because we have a lot of students who have the same 300 signing services as you do. They all have the exact same script that you do. The only difference is you called them and you took action, to use your words. And I think that's an amazing piece of advice because a lot of students are just sitting on the script, they're sitting on the signing service list, and they're not calling them. And it's just action. I love what you said. If you're going to wake up and do 50, hold yourself. So I also heard in your piece of advice is hold yourself accountable, right? If you're going to say you're going to call 50, call 50. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yeah, definitely. Don't call 49, make it 50. You gotta set those steps and you gotta follow through on those steps because each time you follow through, you're just gonna keep building on that and you're gonna build that momentum and that confidence. And then before you know it, you're gonna be making $4 or $5 grand a month. It will happen. I mean, if you put in the work, it's bound to happen.
I love it, man. I love it. I always tell people the system only works if you work the system.
Yeah, it's literally all laid out for you. All you gotta do is just apply it. Like for me, I'm more of an overachiever, so I probably watched the loan signing system videos like a million times. It got to a point where I knew what you were gonna say before you even said it. So that just goes to show, like, just apply what you're doing. Learn as much as you can, and then go out and put it to action.
I love it, man. I'm so proud for so many. I can't take any credit for your work ethic. I can't take any credit for your relentlessness. I mean, these are things that you've embodied, but that transfers into this industry so amazing. And I teach you students, like, it's so easy to become successful in this industry because your competition isn't doing that. Your competition isn't calling signing services up. They're not going out to 100 different title companies. Like, dude, this is your oyster, man. I mean, you're going to be a $10,000, $20,000 a month signing agent around being a full-time firefighter. It's absolutely incredible story. I'm gonna have you back on, by the way, when you're doing 20 grand a month, fighting fires on the weekends and signing agent of the week. This is amazing.
I'll be glad to come on.
Thank you. And so let's go into, and again, thank you for this. This is recorded, so everyone doesn't know this is actually on Wednesday at 6 o'clock my time. I think it's 8 o'clock your time. And you had signings you had to run to before you made this appointment. So thank you for running back home, getting on with us, and sharing some fire, pun intended. So let's get into the last question. I think there's a lot of people watching this because it's going to be on YouTube and everywhere who are thinking about becoming part of this industry, right? And so I always ask these two successful signing agents, what was something you were nervous about before you became a signing agent that now that you're a successful signing agent, you're like, wow, I should probably have never even worried about that to begin with? What was that moment for you?
So my big thing was, I have no real estate history, no mortgage history, no experience in that field. So that was what kind of overwhelmed me. I didn't want to get to a signing and be like, I think you can overthink it. You're gonna think that they're gonna tell you, what does this mean? What does that mean? But you have to rely back on your LSS skills and what you learn and apply that. You're gonna have the nerves, but it's really getting past those nerves and just taking what you learn, put it into action. It will all work. You just gotta apply it.
Yeah, so what I heard, Mike, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, and because you think you have a lot of great advice there, but what I really heard was, you were nervous because you had no experience in real estate, because you had no experience in mortgage. You were nervous, could I actually learn this industry? Did I hear that right?
Yeah. So that was really the main part, because it's a lot to take in, and you can get overwhelmed, which probably happens to most people when they're first starting off. So if you're in those shoes, you're feeling overwhelmed. I was there too at one point, but you just got to keep learning everything. Go through the system like 20 times like I did a day, and you'll learn it, and those nerves just slowly fall off. The nerves come from not being prepared, basically. So if you're prepared, those nerves will drop off, and you won't have to worry about not having an experience, because I have no experience in mortgage, real estate, anything. So
I love it. I think it's really cool. I think there's a lot of people looking at this industry like, well, I don't know the difference between reverse mortgages and a HELOC, and they're thinking to themselves, like, can I get to the point that I do, even though I never had experience? And I think what you're communicating is, and which I always try to communicate, is you can learn this business like any skill in America if you just put the time and effort into it. So I appreciate you saying that. I mean, look, I want to end with this, man. And I want to speak to some firefighters because I think it's inspiring that, like, you know, you're a full-time firefighter making $6,000 a month and you fully believe that you can make $20,000 a month. And so speaking to another firefighter right now, right? And maybe just speaking to anyone who wants to do this part-time, you know, what would you say to them to inspire them? Like, look hard at this industry, become a signing agent. What would you say to them?
I would say, for sure, do it. It'll be the best choice you'll ever make. I mean, like I said, you're gonna have all the flexibility in the world, whether you want to do it full time or side. I mean, if you have kids, you know, anything like that, you can always work around that. You know, you don't have to schedule something at 3 p.m. if you're doing something at 3 p.m. and no one's gonna be mad at you if you say no. You know, that's the thing. Like, and the amount of money you're gonna bring in, it's 75 minimum. I mean, you can't really beat that. And then after a while, you're going to build those relationships. And then it's going to be that what do they call it? The snowball effect, where it's going to start just reeling into you. And then after a while, you're going to have the momentum. And then from there, it'll just take off. And to me, it's honestly the best side job. I honestly make more at this rate. I'll make more doing this than at the fire department. So
I love it, man. Well, congratulations on your success, dude. I remember when you first started how nervous you were. I remember the comments you'd make, and I remember you tagging me, and I remember our very first mentorship call, and I can hear the nerves. I remember it all, man. And to sit here now as the veteran signing agent telling people, work through your nerves, it's going to be okay. I went to 100 title companies. I called 200 signings. It was like, the Mike you are today is different than the Mike that I first met, man. And I'm proud of you because that's called growth. And that's personal growth. And it's hard for people to achieve because that they have to admit that I can grow. And at 27 years old, the idea that you truly believe you're going to be a $20,000 a month signing agent, sky's the limit, man. I'm proud of you, brother. Thank you so much for giving me an interview today. Any final words you want to say?
just if you're on the fence, go for it. You know, you got nothing to lose. After 2 signings, if it's the money you're worried about, 2 signings, you'll make that back. You know, don't worry about it. Just go all in, and you'll thank yourself later for it.
All right, brother. I'll see you next time, man. Thank you again.
All right, man.
Bye.
Take care.